So we'll start with a common species, and that is us, human beings. So let's talk about human beings, okay, as our species, as our first species. Okay, so if we have human beings there, so meaning that the human being, the number of the diploid, right? So I'll write diploid like that. So the number of diploid is 46. And what does it tell you? That this 46 is the number of chromosomes in somatic cells, which are body cells. You know what I mean when I talk about body cells, guys. So diploid in human being is 46, meaning that these are number of chromosomes in somatic bodies or in body cells. Then what about the haploid, right? So the haploid, we said the haploid is half of the diploid, meaning that it will be 23, right? And these are gamete. All right, so what does it mean? Remember when we looked at fertilization in our online, or maybe what I call physical online meeting, I mentioned to say that a sperm, right, a sperm cell will donate 23 chromosomes, and the egg as well will donate 23 chromosomes, right, which will give you the 46 diploid, right, in the fetus. So the fetus will have this. You get, right? So the body of the fetus will have this. But with comes to the gamete, so these are gamete cells, right? These are sex cells. So each sex cell, it has got a haploid. No sex cell is gonna donate that, right? So even you should know that anybody or maybe any organism, when it comes to the gamete cell, they have got half of their diploid cell. But in human beings, since our diploid is 46, so we're gonna have our haploid of 23. So the sperm 23, the egg 23, which gives you the diploid 46. Let's pick another species. Okay, so maybe let's pick another species. Maybe let's talk about the rats, right? So we know that rats have been used in medical studies. So the rat, in terms of the diploid, so when I talk about diploid, the first thing should come in your mind, we're talking about somatic cells, right? So the diploid for the rats, it's 40. So if the diploid for the rat is 40, what will be the haploid? The haploid, meaning the number of chromosomes. What will be the number of chromosomes in this rat? So haploid, we mean sex cells, right? Sex cells of a rat. So what will be that? So what is half of this? So eventually it will be, or automatically it will be what? 20. So that's what it means there. So meaning that for the rat also, if the rat are meeting, so meaning that it will be 20. So meaning that the sperm of the rat, right, will have 20, and the other egg of a rat, those are mammals, right, they'll have also 20. So it will donate 20 to donate 20. For you guys, human beings, at all, if you are one, you have 23. You have to remember that. All right, let's pick another species. This time around, let me jump to plants. Let's talk about tomato. The same tomato that you tomato. Okay, is this the correct spelling? Tomato. Yes, this is the correct spelling. So tomato, if you look at the tomato, it is also an organism. So that is the species that we've given. So the diploid in tomato automatically will be, okay, so what is the remember, these are also, we talked about reproduction in plants. So the diploid in tomato will be what? So the tomato has got the diploid of 24. So if the diploid of tomato is 24, what will be the haploid number? Okay, what will be the haploid? So diploid is 2Ni, remember that. So what will be that? So ideally it will be, what is half of 24? It's 12, right? So meaning the sex cells for tomato will have 24 numbers of chromosomes. So ladies and gentlemen, That is how we go about it, right? You can be given, in an exam, you can be given a certain organism. It doesn't matter whatever organism, for as long as you, in your exams or whatever, or maybe wherever you go, for as long as you are able to know the number of either of this, meaning you can find the missing. So you can be given the haploid, automatically you can find the what? Just double this and you found the diploid. If you're given the diploid, just half of this, you find the haploid. So we shouldn't have complication in dealing with those kind of math or kind of questions in terms of multiple choices. Then maybe also onion, the same onion in your food. Some of you even remove it from your food. So onion, maybe onion will have the diploid is what? Is 16. So what will be the haploid? So the haploid of 16 will be 8. All right. So you'll find that even other organisms, they can have the diploid of 2, meaning the haploid will be 1. All right. So now let me talk about the types of chromosomes, since I've already talked about this. So we talk about the types of chromosomes. Now, since we know what are chromosomes and we know the numbers of chromosomes in different species, now basically we've got 2 types of chromosomes, right? So we've got what we call sex chromosomes. Okay, sex chromosomes. All right, and we also have what we call autosomes. All right, so what you need to know is that every somatic cell is a body cell, right? So every somatic cell has two types of chromosomes. So it is going to have the somatic cell, it is going to have the sex cell, and it was going also to have the autosomes. But with the gamete cells, they will only have one type of chromosome, which is the sex cell. They will only carry the sex cells, the sex chromosomes rather, sorry. Okay, they only carry those things. So that is what you should bear in mind. So ladies and gentlemen, that is about chromosomes and the DNA. So now in my next video, I'll be talking about nuclear division. So in nuclear division, we're going to appreciate how cells multiply or how cells divide. So through that, I'll be talking about mitosis and meiosis.